Welcome to the English class, the best class, English class, the best school, Colegio Técnico Ecuador, the best school, the best school. Remember? Okay, first of all, the first thing we do in every class is what? What do we do in every class? The first we do in every class is to say, what day is today? We say the date. Look at the date of today is Thursday, 26th. Remember the ordinal number in this part. Look at in 26 is not 26, 26th. Because of that, we have the T and H. Thursday is not Tuesday, it's Thursday. Remember, Thursday, 26th March 2020. It is the date of today, okay? Is the date of today. Again, I want to give you the welcome for the class. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the English class of today. As every class, we are going to have the explanation first in English, and then after that, I am going to explain to you the same in Spanish, okay? So you have to pay attention to the explanation, to pay attention. What are the activities for today? For today, we have the explanation about the present perfect progressive, okay? Present perfect progressive. Present perfect progressive is a tense, a grammar tense that talks about the actions that we did in the past. Some actions that we did, and maybe they continue, they are progressing until the present. We have, and we drew. You drew in your notebook. You remember the square in the book? It means that we did something in the past and we maybe the action is progressive to the present. How can we do? Remember, how can we do the sentences in present progressive? Present progressive. In present progressive, we need in present simple. In any simple progressive tense, we always need the ing. Remember, the ing in the verbs. For example, when we say, I am eating, in present, we say, I am eating. Every progressive tense, in present, in past, in future, or in the present perfect progressive, like today we are studying, we use the verb in simple form. Remember, in order to add the ing, we only add ing to verb in simple form. Simple, okay? In simple form. Look at, in simple form, not in past, not in past form or in any other tense. The verb, the main, remember, main is the principal verb. The principal verb with ing. Look, with ing, the principal verb. The principal verb. you are going to see some pictures, a material that I prepared for you with the explanation about the present perfect progressive, okay? Okay, look at, you are going to see and look, as I told you, Colegio Técnico Ecuador, the best, the number one, the best, el mejor de todos, the best. Colegio Técnico Ecuador. This is the English class and the name is Lengua Extranjera or Foreign. Look at, you have there. The matter is Lengua Extranjera in Spanish or Foreign Language in English. Okay, this is for all third years of baccalaureate and the date of today. And look at, and the stars are you. You are writing like this, stars. The activity of learning for today is the number one, the skill, la destreza. Understand the useful of present perfect progressive. To talk about continuous action from the past to the present. Is that what I told you? When we do yesterday, we talk about what I did yesterday, but I don't know if the action is continuous, if the action is in progress, okay? What are the topics? In Spanish, los temas. The topic is number one for today. The present perfect progressive in affirmative form and in negative form, okay? And the activities that we are going to do today are first, the understand, the explanation, present perfect progressive. What I wrote here, why I wrote this, watch a video, it's because I asked to you to watch a video before to come to the class. Before to come to this class, I asked you to watch a video with explanation of the present perfect progressive. You know, that was in Spanish, so you have the idea, you know what about is it, okay? Understand the explanation and find any words. Watch the video is the video that you watched before today, you watch it. And the last is find the words in a video. At the finish of the class, we are going to watch a video and listen a song, and you have to find some words, okay? The present perfect progressive. Look, you have the explanation in Spanish too, so you can understand. It's in order to you understand my explanation. I am speaking in English. You remember I try to speak in English before all the time, or 90%, maybe 90% of the class I speak in English, but some parts I speak in Spanish. For you, maybe you can't. Maybe you cannot understand some parts in English, but here I have the explanation in English and you have the translation in Spanish. The present perfect progressive is used, and you have in Spanish too, is used to talk about one action that empezó, that began in the past and continues in the present. Maybe it continues or maybe not. But the action started, the action began in the past. For example, yesterday. Look at something important, something very important is how we can do, how is the structure, what do we need to do the present perfect progressive. What do we need? What do we need? The present perfect progressive is formed using the verb have or has. You remember this, right? In Spanish, when it is not an auxiliary verb. Pay attention in this. Keep in mind. Pay attention. Pay too much attention. So some people confuse this when they say yo tengo. In Spanish, have or has, of course, they mean tener, of course, but when they are simple verbs, they are verbs. In this case, not. In this case, in this perfect progressive tense, have and has, they mean haber o tener, haber hecho algo, okay? Not tener. I have, for example, with a simple, in the simple meaning, I have a car, I have a car, I have a cell phone. Tener. In this case, is an auxiliary verb. It is an auxiliary verb, and it is not a normal verb. It is an auxiliary. What is the meaning in Spanish? Haber. Haber. It's important you remember that we need because it's perfect. What I told you about it all the time, I told you perfect tenses with have or has, okay? Have for the rest, for all. I, you, and all of the plural persons, okay? And has, we use has only for the three, the third persons, for he, she, or it. They are the third persons, he, she, or it, okay? We have, what more? What I told you, something important is the perfect tenses, all the perfect tenses have, all the perfect tenses must have the past participle of the verb. In this case, not the principal verb. Not the principal verb because it is a progressive, okay? It is a progressive tense. The present progressive needs, look, the gerund of the main verb. What is the meaning of main? The principal, the most important, okay? The most important verb is the main verb. The main verb is the most important in the class, in the sentence. What can we, how can we form the gerund, or what is the gerund form of the verb? Simple form, gerund form. Remember, the gerund form, simple form, gerund form. Okay, so let's reinforce it. The elements to do present perfect progressive sentence, what? Of course, we need what? A subject. We need a subject. We need the verb have or has as auxiliary verbs, okay? As auxiliary verbs, the past participle of the to be verb, the to be verb. is very important. It's very important to have the verb to be, the to be verb. It's very important. Okay, first, subject, the auxiliary verb. What is the auxiliary? Have, with its form has for third persons. The past participle of to be. It's very important in the progressive sentences to have the to be verb. For example, in present. In present progressive sentences, we need are, is. Look, these are the forms in present. In perfect tenses, not. In perfect tenses, we use been, the past participle of to be. And last, the gerund or the ing form of verbs, okay? The forms of ing. Next, here we have some examples. In the left part, we have the contraction. Remember what is the contraction? The contraction is when you put together, when we join, I have. Look, what is the contraction of I have? I've. Look at, you remember how can you pronounce I've? The short B is I've, with your lip and your teeth. I've, look at, let's see the examples. I've been working for 5 hours. You remember how can we use for? We use for to talk about the complete period of time. When we talk about, for example, 2 days. I have been working 2 days. We start one day and finish another day. The complete period of time. There we use for 5 hours, okay? We started working 1 hour and we finish in 5 hours, right? And there we use for the complete time, the whole time. I have been working for 5 hours. And you have there in the right side, in your right part, you have the meaning in Spanish. Look at what is the translation of this sentence. Continue. You've been sleeping all day. All day. What is all day? The complete day. All the day. Okay? Here we have the contraction. Remember, what is the contraction? The contraction is when we put together, when we join, okay? When we put together, I have, we say the contraction, I've. You have, the contraction, we put together, you've. Now, he is, we put together, his, is the contraction of he has, okay? He has, contraction, his. She has, the contraction, she's, okay? And it's the 3 third persons. The third persons, he, she, it, with has, okay? And continue with we have. Let's see. One sentence with third persons. He's been snoring, snoring, snoring. He's been snoring for hours. For hours. Okay? She's been running since. Remember, what is since? Since means when one activity started. Okay? It started when it started. You know, she's been running since. Okay? Here, since only means or shows us that the action started when it began. Okay? She's been running since 7 in the morning when the action started or began. Okay? When began. Continue. For an hour. For, remember, for the time, the complete time. Lately, we've been talking on the phone a lot. What is a lot? A lot, okay? They've been playing soccer for, remember, for. For is the complete time, okay? Is the complete time for 2 hours. These are the examples of present perfect progressive. The negative form, of course, if we have the auxiliary verbs, we have have plus not. Have not. We can use the full form. Of course, we can use the full form. Have not. Okay, we don't have too much time. The time we have is maybe 14 minutes more, so we have to hurry up a little. The negative form for has, the complete form has not. The contraction hasn't, okay? All the other sentences that we do in affirmative, we can change only using haven't or hasn't. Wait a minute. Okay, look at that picture. Look that picture. And you can think your example, okay? Maybe is the way how we and our families are now, okay? Look at the family is together and maybe they have fun together. Try to enjoy the time with your family, okay? Okay, now I want some commentaries. If you want to comment something about is the time. Now you can comment. I want some examples. Maybe you understand. Maybe you understand the present perfect progressive, and now you can raise your hand and say one example, okay? And the rest of the class, please write the sentence, write your own example in your notebook, okay? Right now, you write. After that, we are going to read the present perfect progressive sentences, okay? And at the last, we watch a video, okay? See you. God bless you. God bless you. Bye.